Greetings, my name is Blazely Dragon. I have had a few videos here on YouTube. One of the most common problems that I have run into is the desire for everyone to define themselves. Everyone seems to have a name. Am I a Druid? Am I a witch? Am I a Wiccan? What am I? What path do I follow? Everyone's so concerned with these names and titles. So this video will be dedicated on not only path working, but finding yourself. As a prime example, what is this? Everyone's going to say a tree. Does calling it a tree make it what it is? Is calling it a tree going to make it more solid, more alive, or less alive? Is there other words in other languages for tree? Of course there is. Do any of these words determine what that object is, what that item is? My point is, with or without a name, we are what we are. Why are we so concerned with labels and defining and definitions? When people come to me seeking a path, wondering what they are or what path they should follow, I always help them find what works for them. They don't have to be believing in multiple gods or being polytheistic. They don't have to necessarily practice magic. They don't have to do any of these things. We have choice, and choice is what defines us. Now, there has been apparently a few people who believe I am Wiccan. I am not. I have studied a great variety of faiths. There has been a great many things that I have studied. And I, like many of you out there, have learned that everything has something to offer. This is why many of us call ourselves eclectic. Eclectic is not necessarily a religious term. It is something that will work with anything. An eclectic is someone who picks and chooses, so to speak, what they feel is right, which, honestly, most of us have evolved into that today. Back in ancient days, during the tribal communities of the Celts, granted there was an overall general Druid religion among most of them. There were different faiths in Greece and in Rome where each person would pick a particular deity to follow, and that deity is who they followed. So you were a follower of Diana or Dionysus or Zeus. I mean, you were a priest of Zeus or a priestess of Zeus. I mean, whatever the case may be, each person picked their own patron and tried to live off of their teachings. And they didn't really have, oh, well, my faith is this, my faith is that. This is my deity that I relate to. The point that I'm trying to make here is everyone who has ever questioned whether they are Wiccan or pagan or what term should I use for myself, stop looking and just be. This is the time when you get to make the choice for yourself that you are no longer defined by doctrines or teachings of others, but you take the path onto yourself. I've got a personal name for my own path, which is quite irrelevant. Even what I mainly base my beliefs off is also irrelevant. The point of these videos is to help you find yourself. Start taking responsibility for who you are. Most of us who follow the old ways don't believe in good or evil. There simply is. If something bad happens, you learn from it. If something good happens, you cherish it. There is not something definitive as good or evil. There is nothing to blame. Oh, well, I had a bad day, it was the devil. Or, oh, you know, this horrible event happened to me. Events happen regardless. Nothing revolves around you, but you have the choice to learn from these events, to grow from these events, or to let them harm you. So stop seeking a name and start seeking self and truth. Look within. Take teachings from anything. Now, a note on names for things such as Strega, or Witch, or Wiccan, or Druid. Most of these are so old and ancient faiths, they have grown and developed throughout the years. Even going back to some of the martial arts which I talk about regularly, because I incorporate them as well in spiritual practice as well as martial practice, is the Shaolin. The Shaolin martial arts temple is gone, yet the Shaolin martial arts live on. But you don't have people running around calling themselves Shaolin monks, besides for the ones that are at the monastery. And do you think that they were the same monks that were there thousands and thousands of years ago? Of course not. And the same thing goes for the Druids. The Druids died out. What is left of the modern Druid revival is what they have been able to find and piece together from stories. You have individuals in Europe right now, Kargam. He is the High Druid of the Druid Order, the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids. All of the teachings that they have is what they've been able to find. There is no pure, unsaturated source of Druidry, but Druidry is a live, living, breathing thing that has evolved over time. It's about reverence for nature and acknowledgement of where you exist in the world and your part in it. It's about caring about the existence of the world. It's not seeing yourself as separate and taking all the time. This has been a key factor for many beliefs that are polytheistic or pagan, or even like the Taoists, that they believe in just being. Things have always developed and evolved. Calling yourself a witch, witchcraft has been a family practice. It has been passed down through covens. It has changed. It is not the same practice it was years and years and years ago, but that's okay. That's the point. We grow, we learn, we develop. So you don't have to limit yourself to, well, I'm a witch. What if you do more things than witchcraft? Now, some Wiccans might be upset by this, but a lot of Wiccans, I mean, yes, it came from witchcraft, okay? There was, Gerald Gardner was a witch. He developed Wicca. I get that. There is going to be similarities, but guess what? Just because it's mystical or magical does not, instantly make it Wiccan. A lot of people have loved to say that for some reason. Oh, well, that's Wiccan, and this is Wiccan, and that's Wiccan. No, Wicca is just a modern faith that is, in a way, eclectic itself. But they go around claiming all this stuff is theirs, and then I find people that will be like, well, I'm this or that, but I also do this and I also do that. Why limit yourself to a name? You are not a name. You are you. Be unique. Discover yourself. If you feel the necessary to follow a specific deity, find your deity. Don't let others tell you what to do or what to believe. Don't limit yourself to, I'm this or I'm that. Just be. Take that time and take responsibility for yourself and develop yourself. There's a wide, vast library of knowledge from every faith, even things like the Bible, and even the people who follow the Bible. Guess what? You can learn from us too. We can learn from each other because we are all one. There's a connection between all living things. And now's the time to put aside our differences and learn from one another. Heck, to even quote the Bible, I love this one story where with faith the size of a mustard seed you can move mountains. That's powerful. That's magic right there. Prayer is magic. Magic is this living, breathing force that flows through us all. The ability to use magic is not unnatural. It's not fire from your hands or vanishing in plain sight. It is a way to affect the world in a natural way, to bring about change through the use of will. That is what true magic is. We are vibrating beings, luminous and glowing. We vibrate at different intensities according to our mood, how we feel, if we are ill or sick. Everything vibrates, color vibrates, sound. When you cast a spell, it's about creating vibrations to bring about needed change. It's like the butterfly effect. A butterfly can flap its wings and hurricanes and tornadoes can happen miles away. It's the same thing when someone casts a spell. They create this series of vibrations through chanting, meditation, will, music, whatever comes to their mind, whether it be burning an herb or lighting a candle of a particular color or symbolically sewing a knot. Each thing causes its own ripple and vibration and causing this harmony. So the thing is, everyone can use magic. So you don't have to be a witch or a Wiccan. You don't have to be, oh, I'm Christian, so I can't practice magic. Magic is very natural. It's the harmony of the very life that we live in. So, hopefully you will take away from this a little bit of where to go. So for those of you who are lost and don't know where you are, what to call yourself, you're not lost. It's called being alive. It's the human condition. So embrace who you are, embrace your uniqueness, and hopefully now you can truly become you and no longer be defined by the doctrines or teachings or opinions or beliefs of others, because the only truth is self and perception. What you choose to perceive will become. I'm Blazely Dragon, and hopefully you've learned something.